I came to Zimbabwe. Imagine after a year of relentless hard work, your parents say, "Oh my goodness, we booked you a couple of tickets so you and your younger brother can go to Zimbabwe." And you're elated because the last time you went to Zimbabwe was in 2019, just before COVID. So I was 11 the last time I went to Zimbabwe. So you can imagine how excited I was. So the whole travel was absolutely amazing. The food on the plane was nice. The scenery was absolutely amazing. Just looking out of the window, you can see the amazing colors. Because I was traveling at sunset and sunrise. Luckily, like both my plane flights aligned perfectly. So I took off at sunset, and then my other plane was during sunrise. So I got amazing photos. So that whole part of your travel was amazing. Like the sunrise above the clouds and everything was really, really nice. No turbulence, no delays, no cancellations, nothing like that. Just like seamless travel. Then you arrive in Zimbabwe. It's exactly how you remember it. It's absolutely amazing. The weather's great, the people are nice, the food is nice, and I was just staying at my grandparents' house. Haven't seen them in a really, really long time, and that was also really nice. I stayed with them for a couple of weeks, and then I started traveling around Zimbabwe a little bit more. So we were planning to go to Victoria Falls, but that couldn't work out. So we ended up going to Borodale, Highlands. I stayed mainly at my house here whilst we were traveling around, visiting family, doing all sorts of stuff. And I had a lot of interesting experiences as well. Like I went to Mbare, and that was definitely a sight to remember. The streets were filthy. There was so much pollution. It was absolutely insane. The people there have some strange hatred towards long hair, and not just people in Bari, but like people in general. They would often comment about my hair. They were like, we should cut your hair for you, we should do all sorts of stuff. And in Mbare, this guy wanted to fight because of my hair. He said that hair like that doesn't belong in Zimbabwe. But aside from that, literally just a day trip, everything else was absolutely amazing. I went to Rua. I've gone to all sorts of places. Like the sunsets in Zimbabwe are really, really nice. And recently it's just about spring, so this is where the fruits are starting to come in. This is when the trees are starting to blossom. So there's one road by Avondale, and it's literally like just a full road of jacaranda trees, and it's really, really nice because all of the trees just have purple blossoming flowers, and it's just like a full road of that, and it just looks really, really nice. I had arrived in winter, so for a couple of months there wasn't really much going on in terms of like fruit. The weather was like perfect weather, slightly too hot, but it was completely bearable. Like the weather was almost in the 30s, late 20s ish. So I can just imagine how it's gonna be in summer, like October to December time. That's gonna be torturous. But unfortunately, I'm going to go back in a couple of days. So the weather was really nice. There weren't many fruit though, unfortunately. I was expecting there to be mangoes, pomegranates, guavas, all sorts of stuff, because I completely forgot that when it's summer in England, it's winter in Zimbabwe, and vice versa. So that was a little bit of a disappointment when I came. But there were a lot of stuff that we could have. Later on during my stay, there were quite a few guavas actually. Somehow they were ready, but like no other guava tree I went to had any ripe guavas. There were white guavas and there were red guavas, and they were fully ripe. They were really, really sweet. They're some of like my favorite fruit. And then when you're just traveling around and everything, they have these street vendors. They sell blueberries, strawberries, all sorts of stuff, and they're actually like really, really nice. And then you walk around town. Harare is a very interesting town. Like a lot of it is like really, really nice, but like central Harare I don't really like because it's very, very busy, and I hate crowded spaces. The buildings though could do it with a bit of work, but like as a whole, Harare is like really, really nice. And then in my garden we started planting a bunch of stuff. We have strawberries, we started growing grapes, we got mango tree, we've got a lemon tree, we've got a marimba tree, we've got spinach and kovo that we're growing, we've got beetroots, we've got all sorts of stuff, and it's actually really, really nice. And the weather is just nice as well. It's such a relaxing type of atmosphere. It's really, really nice. And a lot of people here are super, super fascinated by me and my siblings because we've got strong British accents. So they find it really, really fascinating when they speak to us and all sorts of stuff. and they're absolutely fascinated when they find out that you can't speak a lot of Shona. So they have a lot of fun with that. But people are really enthusiastic about trying to teach us Shona. So I've been picking up really, really quickly, and I've been able to speak a lot more in only the 2-3 months that I've been here. When I was here in 2019, up to just before my trip, I couldn't speak like any Shona, just like basic greetings. But now I can have some semi conversations, like some mediocre conversations, and I've been picking up like really, really quickly. Oh, and I forgot to mention that when I went to Mbare, it wasn't pure awfulness, but we mainly went around just so we can see how these fabricators, metalworkers, and mechanics actually do their stuff. And I can just tell you that it is a shock how they can actually get their stuff done. It's absolutely insane. A bunch of their stuff is like fully rusted. They got these metal sheets fully rusted, even like craters because of the rust. They've got their tools, which are super DIY to put it, and somehow they get it all done. It's literally like just getting work done with all the tools that you have. So it's really surprising that they can actually do all of that with the limited stuff that they've got, and it actually works. So that's like really, really impressive. And it's actually just like really, really nice because there are many places I've been, there are many spots I've found, and you could just like stare into the sunset and the scenery for like hours on end because of just how amazing it looks. And I found that with many different spots. Like right now it's almost sunset and you can already see the light coming from there, and you can already tell it's going to be a really nice sunset. And when it's nighttime, in an area where there are like no street lights or no lights from houses and whatever, the sky looks absolutely amazing at nighttime. Like I took a couple of photos at night and it was absolutely amazing. You could see like stars. And there's one area that I went to in this village ages ago. Well, not ages ago, like a few weeks ago. It was pitch black and I could literally see the outline of a galaxy in the sky, and it looked really, really nice. I tried capturing it on camera, but I didn't bring my camera. I didn't bring my phone or anything either, so I couldn't really capture that very nicely, but it just looked really, really nice. It's just like that surreal scenery that just makes Zimbabwe so amazing. But aside from all that, it's not just my family being here, it's not just the amazing weather, it's not any of that, but just the whole atmosphere. This is like one of the reasons why I want to open up my own garage in Zimbabwe. It's going to be so chill, it's going to be so laid back. The cost of startup is like super, super cheap here, so it's going to be really easy to open my garage as soon as I finish my education. Like, as soon as I get my garage in Zimbabwe, that's going to be like peak goals right there. That's exactly what I'm working towards, and it's going to be absolutely amazing in just a few years when I move here. Unfortunately though, I'm gonna have to move back. In a few days, I'm just gonna have to move back to England so that I can get all of my qualifications, the rest of my education done, and then I'll be able to get my information about working with cars and all sorts of stuff so that I'll actually be ready and prepped to go back to England. But that's also going to be really exciting because then I'll finally be able to get my knowledge on how to work with cars. So I'm excited for that step as well.